The crowd has been waiting for this one for a very long time. Welcome to the CompuBox Academy. I'm Todd Grisham. Next to me is Johnny Nelson.
The pleasure's always mine, my friend.
Time. Smokin' Joe Frazier. His 3 battles with Muhammad Ali, perhaps the most famous the sport has ever seen. Alexander Usyk, the former undisputed cruiserweight champion and heavyweight champion of the world, fighting out of Ukraine.
If this fighter knows how to use that reach, this is going to be a shut night.
This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, the Olympic gold medalist from Beaufort, South Carolina, the Hall of Famer from the golden era of heavyweights, a heavyweight champion of the world, Smokin' Joe Frazier. Fighting out of the blue corner, here is the Olympic gold medalist from Ukraine, an undisputed cruiserweight world champion, and a unified heavyweight champion of the world, Alexander Usyk.
What a pleasure it is to be here in this environment. What a venue for this showdown.
What a venue, what a fight, what action.
Thousands of fans here in attendance tonight, but when the bell rings, there will only be 2 that we're talking about. Frazier's been in so many hellacious battles over the years. The trilogy with Muhammad Ali, his fights against George Foreman. Good counter punch. Jab does not score. So much for boxing. This is a fist fight. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. When you're training to fight a swarmer, you've got to focus on your conditioning because they will push you to the edge of your limits.
Swarmers, you can go back in boxing history. When you've seen them, when you've seen the best of the best swarmers going, you understand how hard it is. It looks exciting from the outside in. Can you imagine being right in there?
These fighters have had their moments.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
You can't make a mistake at the heavyweight level and not expect to be punished for it. That jab doesn't find a home. Is Frazier in trouble? Frazier still standing.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What do they do? What do they tell him when he goes back to the corner? How are they going to get through this?
You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. The game plan does not seem to be working here. What's he have to do differently?
You know, I've been in fights like that. When you're thinking, come on, Bell, ring away. You walk back to the corner like you've just seen the sun.
I'm happy. I like that round. Good work. Just stay
around. All right, it's only 1 round that you've lost. Don't worry about it.
Here we go for round 2. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
When are we going to see a jab from these 2? Nice counter. When you're fighting a counterpuncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counterpuncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
Counterpuncher's my favorite kind of fighter. A good counterpuncher, they're the people that make the history of our sport.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. This has been a very competitive round as we reach the midway point.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I got to respect both of them more than happy.
It's knockout or bust for both of these fighters. There's no way Frazier survives this. Never count out Smoking Joe Frazier.
What recovery skills they are. What a shot it was. Completely gone. I thought there's no way he's going to finish this round. But look at that. Look at the movement. Look at the speed. Back on it. Like it never happened.
Very close round with 10 seconds to go. At this point, you got to believe he can't win on the scorecards. Going to need a knockout.
The bell, sometimes it can be the sweetest sound.
Now you've let him back into it.
Great work. I love that. I love that. That jab is slick.
He was close to the fight, and now you've let him back.
And there's the bell for round 3. That corner has got to find a way to get some momentum behind their fighter.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
They are giving us a high-tempo show. Frazier's such a good inside fighter.
You've got to make your opponent fight your kind of fight. They've got to get into your kind of argument, your kind of dance.
That uppercut's blocked. Swing and a miss with that jab. What a round so far as we've reached the halfway point.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
That uppercut doesn't get through. You're not going to see as much footwork as the smaller weight classes in the heavyweight division, but we don't care. We want that heavy fist. They're both trying for a knockout. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Well, he is in big trouble here. He may have been saved by the bell.
Every second, every minute of this fight is important. Every second.
It's a terrible round, that is. Come on, let him back.
Here we go in round 4. Who's going to land the first big shot? After that last round, something has got to change.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Not so rigid anymore with the stance. Punch, counter punch. They won't give us a second to catch our breath. This fighter has determined that they can walk through any punches that their opponent throws, and that's a very confident spot to be in.
Don't get trigger happy. Because all of a sudden you're going to be gassing yourself out trying to get that shot, and that's when they catch you.
Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Incredible firepower from both of these heavyweights. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. These punches coming from every angle. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. And a round that seemed like eternity for them finally comes to a close.
Needs a knockout without a doubt. Needs to go out there and think, right, you know what?
Get focused and get the job.
And there's the bell for round 5. It has been all one-way traffic. How do they turn this around?
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs are gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
These are heavyweights, but I tell you what, that hand speed and footwork, they look like middleweights.
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there. They want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a tear. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to frustrate them as they set the shots. Get out of the way. And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
Can they figure out the combination to this safe?
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Those counter punches have to hurt. You can't throw out a lazy jab in this fight. You're gonna get knocked out. Punching. Do you believe what we are seeing? This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. From this moment forward, he cannot afford to lose another round.
You know, I've been in fights like that. When you think...
Listen, be smart in the fight.
This is the beginning of round 6. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
This is one of those situations.
Whoa, Johnny, take a look at this action. The big Ukrainian in big trouble. How did they not go down?
Got caught sleeping on the job. What do? You step back, steady yourself, recompose yourself, then boom, back into it. But do not make those mistakes. This is the wrong place to fall asleep.
That one lands. They hit like heavyweights, but they move like middleweights. Truly elite-level stuff here.
Now this is about desire. This is about...
And down goes Alexander Usyk. What a knockout headshot. Let's watch it again. And they knew it when they threw it.
A shot from... 1, 2, 3, 4. Listen, are you okay?
Apparently it's going to take more than that to keep this fighter down.
Oh, he can smell blood. Look at that. He's put in round once. He knows what shot works and where to land it. Then try and do it again. He's just not got to get trigger happy.
halfway through the round, and I think he knows he's got a lot of work to do.
It's that forever hope. Remember the fight at Evander Holyfield? He could be behind on points up until the last 10 seconds, but he's fighting like he's going to put it back. That's the kind of hope we need to see.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. As we enter the final 10 seconds here, it's probably a round you'd rather forget. Usyk! Talk about Alexander Usyk in that last round. He's been knocked down, but at least not knocked out yet.
Come on.
Round 7, here we go. They really got banged up last round. What can they do here to change the momentum?
What a knockdown. 1 minute, you need 1 hour to get over a shot like that. Now it's down to conditioning. Now it's down to mental strength and preparation. It's how you are going to deal with this.
You'd like to see more jabs. We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
They're both going for the KO. It's so obvious. Neither one of these fighters want to see the judges' scorecards. One punch could end this fight for either of these two heavyweights.
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's so hard to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
Neither one of them want this to go to the judges' scorecards. Both men step back for just a moment. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Down big time on the scores.
The bell, sometimes it can be the sweetest sound.
To make mistakes and switching up. I need you to switch back on.
And they're back at it again here in round 8. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. One of the best attributes to have in boxing has nothing to do with boxing. It's how well you can take a punch to the face.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those point areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skim them, go for speed.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Shots from both of these fighters. Got to be careful, though. They walk away from each other and then run right back into trouble. You can tell he's stronger, but he's not faster. He scores with the counter. It's nothing but air on that left uppercut. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. secret who has the advantage after that last round. Let's see what they have in store for us in the next one.
Dominance, without a doubt, made it look so easy.
Take the round off.
Let's see how much fatigue we see here in round 9. Well, there's no doubt about who won that last round. Let's see what he has for us here in the next one.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Generally speaking, you don't watch heavyweights to see a boxing match. You want to see a fist fight.
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
Looks like he's going to try and bait his opponent here. Well, we knew this was going to happen. Some taunting. Misses with the straight left. It looked great live. How will it look again on slow motion replay?
That's lights out right there.
Apparently, it's going to take more than that to keep this fighter down.
That is a show of character. When you're put down, your weasel's hurt, your chin's hurt, your body's hurting, and you've got to get up, suck it up, and think, right, I'm back in the game again. It's so hard for a fighter.
So final 10 seconds of the round, and he is looking really sharp. The corner hasn't thrown in the towel yet, so I guess he's coming out for another round.
There's always a way back. Don't ever round anybody off.
The fight's not over yet. You've got to go out there and win this round.
We've made it to round 10. Let's see if they can shake off the cobwebs after a disastrous last round.
I have no idea what they have left. How do you come back from something like that? Not down twice? Where's your head at? Where's your energy levels at? It tells you you've got nothing left.
Nice counter shot. They exchange punches. You've seen all the famous boxing movies, the training scenes, the gym work. That's what it all boils down to. Who's going to have more endurance?
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
Can't land the jab there. Halfway through the round, and I don't know who's got the advantage. Great stuff.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. The charts action from both of these fighters. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Some might have thought the fight a little bit closer, but the judges are in agreement. A unanimous decision win.
Unanimous. You know what? Smart that is. A total change of styles to make sure they got it. Had every round in the bag. There was no argument, no discussion, no mistake. It was so obvious.